Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the A Collision with Purpose project Under the Spotlight. Here, individuals are given the opportunity to explore self in pursuit of their purpose. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and I'm your host. The A Collision with Purpose project allows individuals to pause, take a quiet moment and listen, be introspective, and engage self-reflection in pursuing their purpose to unleash possibilities with far-reaching implications for self and others. Today, the Ecological with Purpose Project Spotlight is on Ms. Seya Wilson. Ms. Wilson is a mother, a virtual boss, a Master's of Arts candidate in Development Studies, and an advocate for social change. Folks, let us welcome Ms. Wilson to the Ecological with Purpose Project Under the Spotlight.
Thank you so much for that wonderful welcome. I think you described actually most of the things that I am. Of course, there's going to be some things that will fall outside of those realms, but I'll definitely try my best to express whatever else I do and I'm about that wasn't mentioned. But those were aptly put, and thank you for the warm welcome and the invitation.
Ms. Wilson, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Ecological with Purpose Project Under the Spotlight. And yes, you'll be having the opportunity to talk about all those wonderful things that you do. In fact, I am looking forward to having an engaging, insightful, and interactive conversation with you about a topic which I believe is arguably one of the most consequential concepts in forming how we function as individuals and ultimately what we perceive as our legacy.
Okay. Yes, and I'm ready to explore my legacy. Probably some things that I never thought were a part of my legacy will come out of this, which is why I'm so happy to be here.
This is so awesome. And as you just stated, today you're going to explore self in pursuit of your purpose. I will be asking you a series of questions relating to your purpose. Are you ready?
I am ready like I've never been ready.
You're ready like that ever ready battery, right?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So, purpose is such a topic, and it is one of those concepts that many individuals tend to have some level of difficulties with. And when asked what is purpose, they often struggle with giving a descriptive answer. So I believe that any conversation about purpose should begin with a definition. So Ms. Wilson, I'm going to ask you to define purpose, but do so in a very broad, general way.
I think a purpose of a human being is what pursuits and interests you put your passions towards, and how you follow through in ensuring that those passions and interests benefit a broad range of things in the world, or whatever it is that you want to impact. That's your purpose.
A broad range of things, and more specifically what you want to impact.
Yes.
All right, so given your description, would you say that it is important for individuals, you included, to have an understanding of your purpose?
I think it's fundamental. I think it's what forms the very core of all the things that you pursue and involve yourself in. And I think it's somewhat kind of like your cardinal points in life. So you have a center, and this purpose is what allows you to go in particular directions. So I think it's very important. You have to have a center that holds you to a particular set of events that you need to be involved in, and for you to be able to plan these events and involvements. So I think it is absolutely important.
Absolutely important, and I concur with you on that. Let's talk about your specific purpose. Can you share?
I would argue sometimes with my peers to say that your purpose doesn't fully come to you. First, you have to go through a series of experiences that give you some sort of self-discovery. But I think age has something to do with that. So after you've experienced a particular set of events, and you've gotten to an age where you're self-aware, you start to question yourself about what your purpose is. And I feel that once you get to that self-discovery stage, it will take you some time to ask yourself some questions as to what your purpose is. It's not a destination. I believe that it's always evolving. I believe that your purpose is something that is evolving. But like I said before, it is like your center. So you continue to move in a particular direction. So I knew from very early, my mom spent her entire career in politics in Jamaica. And I used to be, by definition, her handbag. I used to go everywhere with her. And I developed a love for being in communities and with people to feel their plight at a very early age. So what I had to do is that I had to transition from that love and want to be in communities to something that was transferable. So how can I make an impact with, so I spent a little while, in politics, and I realized that there are so many ways in which you can impact lives. So I've evolved into someone with a purpose to particularly help to educate um, people in communities. And that's much of what my study has been about. People who probably don't have the level of education, but they have the willingness to learn, and they also have the interest to learn things. So I spend a lot of my time devising community participation strategies around climate change. So that's what I've been pursuing. I'm now in South Africa, and I mean, how I came here is another part of my purpose, but I know that my purpose has to include a people-centered approach and something around um, helping people to understand things that society would probably otherwise have disposed of them and say, maybe they don't understand and maybe they don't need to understand. But I believe that everybody should understand, and they need to be communicated at their level to be able to understand their rights and their place in society. So that's my purpose.
Okay, so you're currently in South Africa pursuing your master's degree in developmental studies. Can you talk to us about that? Share, and how does that, you tie into your purpose or your overarching purpose?
Okay, so I definitely have a belief in divinity. I believe that you're placed everywhere for a reason. And in 2020, I applied for a scholarship to do my master's. I didn't know where next, but I knew that I probably couldn't afford a US or a Canadian university. That was now I know better. You can afford anything, but I said, I need a scholarship. And on the list of countries was, I probably remember Sri Lanka, Fiji, some other Commonwealth countries, and South Africa. And I was like, that is interesting. South Africa, with its history, it's such a rich history with a lot of complications. And complications are sometimes a good thing to try and, make your way through the society and make sense of it, academic sense and just personal sense from your perspective. So I said, definitely it will be South Africa. I had to apply for a university. I applied for the university, got into the university, but didn't get the scholarship. And I decided to pursue anyway, because as I said, you can afford anything that you set your mind to. So I decided that, maybe I had $0, but it would all work out. And that's an attitude that I have in life. It will all work out. You just have to step out there. So then came COVID. I had to do remote work. It was difficult because my first degree is actually in literature. So to move to anthropology and developmental studies was hard. Classes were online, connectivity was an issue, just everything. that everybody else was going through, but I was going through. But I felt like it was thwarted because every time I would want to come, the I would get closed borders, a new COVID strain, And then I got to come here, and after lots of complications, but it's rewarding because I saw the vision of what I wanted to learn from people, and with all the gender and racial issues and being able to navigate that has given me a whole new perspective and a whole new set of things that I have to definitely be able to make sense of. And this is something that I feel is a part of my purpose, interacting and understanding people and their circumstances and what has made them that way.
Okay, and what is a virtual boss? Can you talk to me about virtual boss? And apply that to your purpose as well.
Okay, so that's another, in 2020, I was preparing to come to South Africa. Then COVID came. At that time, I had left my job. I had uprooted myself, and then a few of my friends would say, Seya, can you manage a project for me? Can you write a project proposal? Can you help me with some administrative tasks? And I would do them. And then once I did that, I realized that, okay, so post-COVID, people are going to definitely have to do virtual work. And they are going to need a VA. At the time, I didn't even know that it was called a VA, and it was something that people were doing before, but it became more of an imperative post-COVID, and still up to now. So I started this VA firm called the Virtual Office Hub. And I remember I had a particular set of clients who, after I provided so many great solutions to their business, who they had to downsize post-COVID, but I helped them to keep it at the optimal performance. One meeting, they said, you're the virtual boss. And I said, that name is gonna stick. So how does it tie into my purpose is that I like to help small business people to make things work on a limited budget. So I like to help them to move many different parts of the business from an administrative and project management perspective, for them to outsource things to me at an affordable cost. Subsequent to that, last year, I started the Virtual Boss series, which is a low budget seminar, webinar that happens every month with different topics for small business people. So these people would have otherwise probably not been able to afford a consultation, say with the big names in business, to learn different things about small businesses. So I've just done a series where every month there's a topic, and they pay $25 and sit through 90 minutes of listening to things that can help their business. And this has helped to save some people from giving up, from just saying, okay, this is not going to work because I can't afford all these resources. So these are all a part of me trying to help people that they want to do well. They want to do well for their communities. They want to do well for themselves and their families, and break generational. They want to have generational wealth be a thing, and I avail myself to help them. And then lastly, the where my purpose really hits was when I realized that I would have clients who would say to me that they really want to afford my services, but they just don't have the funding. A lot of people, unless you have access to or are from a wealthy background, where do you get money from to fund your business? So I started grant writing research, grant research, loan advising, and helping people to prepare themselves to get investments and equity in their business, offered to their business. So that's my latest project, and that's something that I've been working on. But it's all of it boils down to me understanding the journey of being a small business person and helping people not to say give up because it's not happening, but find solutions to ensure the business continues to run.